This week we bring you the latest news in biology, astronomy, and more. So let's get started. In our lead story this week, a biologist in the U.S. has described 4 new tree-dwelling snakes from Papua New Guinea. The study was published in the Zootaxa journal, and the new species are part of the bronzeback snake group known as the genus Dendrelaphis. The snakes were collected between 1986 and 2021 from various locations in the country, including its isolated Louisiade archipelago. But the specimens sat mostly unidentified until now. According to the researchers, these snakes are challenging to identify as they share physical characteristics across different species. However, after conducting a comprehensive analysis of morphological characteristics and DNA sequences, University of Michigan biologist Fred Krause was able to classify the snakes into 4 distinct groups, which he designated as new species. The newly described species are Dendrelaphis altus, Dendrelaphis brungalis, Dendrelaphis darvitae, and Dendrelaphis nigroluteus. The study resolved decades of taxonomic confusion surrounding these bronzeback snakes, providing clarity for scientists and naturalists who study them. It also highlights how little is known about the biodiversity of Papua New Guinea and its surrounding islands. Papua New Guinea is indeed a biodiversity hotspot. For example, it hosts around 700 species of birds, which is one of the highest numbers globally. The country holds about 20% of the world's butterfly species and over 60,000 insect types. Despite this, Papua New Guinea faces threats such as deforestation, mining, and agricultural expansion, endangering many of its endemic organisms. Further research is vital to fully understand the region's biodiversity, but these 4 new species are a great start. And if you love learning about incredible discoveries like this one, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on future updates. Next up, researchers have found what they are calling a living fossil, a 500-million-year-old velvet worm in the mountains of southern China. The study was conducted by a team led from the China University of Geosciences and the Nanjing Institute of Geology and Paleontology. The discovery was made during a field trip led by a professor as part of a student training program. They were searching for fossils when a student came across the worm in a moist area covered in vegetation. Initially, the team thought it was a preserved specimen. However, upon closer inspection, they realized that it was a live animal. This is a significant finding because velvet worms are part of an ancient group called Onychophora, which dates back to the Cambrian explosion, a period of rapid diversification of life forms around 500 million years ago. There are approximately 200 known species of velvet worms today, mostly found in tropical or moist environments. These unique creatures possess characteristics of both annelid worms and arthropods. They have segmented bodies like earthworms, but also bear resemblances to insects and spiders with features like unjointed legs and a pair of antennae. Velvet worms can reach lengths of up to 20 centimeters and play a role in decomposition as predators and scavengers. Their primary mode of prey capture involves the secretion of a sticky slime from glands near their mouths, which they utilize to trap their unsuspecting victims. Surprisingly, velvet worms are not only remnants of the past, but are still evolving. Genetic studies indicate that despite their ancient origins, they continue to adapt to changing environments. One notable adaptation is their ability to survive in diverse habitats, ranging from rainforests to deserts and mountains. This discovery provides a unique opportunity to study early animal evolution and shed light on past climates. By examining the environment where the worm was found, researchers hope to learn more about the climate conditions prevalent 500 million years ago. The fossil record offers clues about the past, but studying extant relatives of ancient creatures like this velvet worm provides a dynamic perspective on evolution and adaptation through time. And lastly, in a recent study published in the journal PNAS, researchers from Bigelow Laboratory for Ocean Sciences reported the discovery of more than 200 giant viruses in ocean samples. These viruses are larger than typical viruses and were found to significantly impact marine ecosystems by infecting and killing phytoplankton, impacting the global carbon cycle and oxygen production. The researchers used metagenomic sequencing to analyze genetic material extracted directly from seawater samples collected during the Terra Oceans expedition. This expedition was a global initiative aimed at studying ocean biodiversity and ecosystem functioning. The discovery of these giant viruses adds to the growing body of evidence, challenging the traditional view of viruses as obligate intracellular parasites. Instead, the findings suggest that giant viruses may exhibit metabolic properties independent of infected cells, blurring the line between living and non-living entities. Moreover, the study highlights the potential significance of giant viruses in marine ecosystems. By infecting phytoplankton, these viruses play a crucial role in regulating the abundance of phytoplankton, which are essential for the ocean's food web and contribute significantly to global oxygen production. The researchers estimate that giant viruses are responsible for the death of around 20% of all marine phytoplankton cells, highlighting their substantial impact. The study suggests that giant viruses could have a profound influence on the global carbon cycle by regulating phytoplankton populations. Phytoplankton absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, and when they die, they sink to the ocean floor, storing carbon. Therefore, viruses that infect and kill phytoplankton may influence the amount of carbon stored in the deep ocean. Understanding the role of giant viruses in marine ecosystems is crucial for comprehending the balance of power between living organisms and the environment. By studying these viruses, researchers aim to unravel the complex interactions within marine food webs and gain insights into the factors driving global biogeochemical cycles. A new paper published in Nature Climate Change reveals that the atmosphere's thirst has increased by almost 50% over the past 2 decades, leading to more severe droughts worldwide. Using a global network of weather stations, the researchers measured the increase in evaporative demand, or the atmosphere's demand for water vapor from Earth's surface. They discovered that this demand has risen by nearly half since the year 2000. The study shows that rising temperatures due to human-caused climate change are intensifying droughts by increasing the rate of evaporation. Hotter temperatures mean that water evaporates more quickly from surfaces like soil and plants, leaving them drier and more susceptible to drought stress. Between 2001 and 2020, the atmospheric thirst increased by 40% globally, according to the study. This trend is concerning as droughts have significant impacts on agriculture, water resources, and ecosystems. More severe droughts can lead to crop failures, water shortages, and habitat loss, affecting both humans and wildlife. The study emphasizes the need for measures to mitigate the effects of drought. These include improving water management practices, developing drought-resistant crops, and implementing policies to ensure equitable access to water resources. Understanding how the atmosphere's thirst is changing is crucial for effective planning and adaptation strategies. Future projections indicate that as temperatures continue to rise, evaporative demand will likely increase further, potentially exacerbating drought conditions. By anticipating these changes, policymakers and communities can take proactive steps to protect vulnerable populations and ecosystems from the adverse impacts of drought. A new study published in the journal Nutrients reports that consuming just a cup of chickpeas daily can help lower cholesterol levels, offering a dietary approach to reducing the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Chickpeas are legumes known for their nutritional benefits, including being a good source of fiber, protein, and complex carbohydrates. In this study, researchers investigated the effects of adding cooked chickpeas to a balanced diet. Participants were instructed to consume a cup of chickpeas daily for 6 weeks while maintaining their regular eating habits. The results showed that incorporating chickpeas into the diet led to a reduction in total and LDL cholesterol levels. This suggests that chickpeas may help improve overall cardiovascular health by lowering harmful cholesterol levels. The study suggests that the cholesterol-lowering effect of chickpeas can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, chickpeas are rich in soluble fiber, which binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and prevents its absorption. This mechanism is believed to be one of the primary ways chickpeas help reduce total and LDL cholesterol levels. Additionally, chickpeas contain antioxidants and phytochemicals that may contribute to their heart protective effects. These compounds help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, which are associated with heart disease. Furthermore, chickpeas are a good source of nutrients such as magnesium and potassium, which play a role in maintaining healthy blood pressure levels. Well-cooked chickpeas are easy to incorporate into various dishes, making them a convenient addition to a heart-healthy diet. They can be used in salads, soups, stews, or as a side dish. By including chickpeas in regular meals, individuals can potentially reduce their risk of cardiovascular diseases by lowering cholesterol levels. According to a study published in the journal PNAS on June, global ocean acidity levels have surpassed a critical threshold specified by the Planetary Boundaries Framework as of 2020, raising alarms about the potential collapse of marine ecosystems. The study, conducted by an international team of researchers, analyzed data on ocean acidification from various sources. They found that the level of acidity, measured as the decrease in pH, had reached the critical threshold established by the Planetary Boundaries Framework. The threshold signifies the level beyond which the ocean's chemistry and associated ecosystems may face irreversible changes. Ocean acidification occurs when the ocean absorbs excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. As the concentration of carbon dioxide increases, the ocean becomes more acidic. This process has been primarily driven by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels. The study highlights that the current rate of ocean acidification is unprecedented in the last 20 million years. This rapid change poses a significant threat to marine organisms, especially those that build shells or skeletons using carbonate ions. As the ocean becomes more acidic, the availability of carbonate ions decreases, making it harder for these organisms to form and maintain their protective structures. Corals, oysters, clams, and some plankton species are particularly vulnerable. The consequences of ocean acidification extend beyond the affected organisms as it disrupts the entire marine ecosystem. The decline of shell-building organisms can have cascading effects on the food chain, impacting fish populations and ultimately humans who rely on the ocean for food. To address this issue, the researchers call for urgent action to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. They emphasize the need for global cooperation to transition to sustainable energy sources and reduce human impact on the ocean's chemistry. The study underscores the importance of preserving the health and balance of the ocean for the well-being of both current and future generations. And that's it for this week's news. If you want to watch our previous episodes, you can find them in the archive. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.